Audacious Raw Theater proudly presents Silence is Deafening, written by Dean Bell, performed by Ansa Akyea.
I need to reach out to you, my work family. Every day I do my best to come to work aware of the privilege I hold being a leader here. I don't and can't speak for all, so I'm just going to talk to you about my experience. Explain a little bit of the pain that I and many others have gone through, are going through, and will continue to experience until racism is truly overcome. I am a proud partner at this firm. I am also a Black man, and I take pride in that too. I am the American dream, born to immigrant parents from Jamaica, where the slogan of the country is out of many, one people. I live in this beautiful country of many diverse individuals, a country where so many are given the chance to work hard, get an education, be a positive member of society, and make something of themselves. I live in a place where you pledge your allegiance to the flag and say the following words: one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Liberty and justice for all. I'm not going to lie to you. There were plenty of events in the past year where I shrugged my shoulders with complacency. Just another day in the life of a Black person. And frankly, I'm ashamed of my prior reactions and have started to process why this time is different. I'm scared, hurt, disappointed, and not sure where to put my emotions given what continues to be my normal way of life. I think seeing the killing of George Floyd pushed me over the edge of a place of sadness and despair. Unfortunately, a routine 911 call can lead to death, and that is my fear as I question the person's motive for making the call. Have you heard of the following 911 calls for these transgressions? Drinking coffee while Black, watching birds in a park while Black, working out in an office building, gym while Black, walking while Black, running in certain neighborhoods while Black, too common one, driving a nice car while Black. Well, I like to run in new places. I like to sit in parks. I've been drinking way too much coffee and have spent some time in the gym. I like to take advantage of the freedoms that everyone is supposed to have, but I'm constantly worried and always have to have a heightened sense of not being viewed as threatening. My friends have been calling me and have begged me not to run in the dark. OMG. I saw the news story about Ahmaud Arbery, and I thought of you, as I fear for you. That is my reality. My wife and I sat our kids down to have a discussion on race and asked them about how they felt about what they were seeing on TV. No, they didn't fully comprehend what was going on because they have friends of different racial backgrounds and haven't really been aware of how deep-rooted racial issues are. It's what I would have hoped would be the case in 2020 with two biracial children who haven't been blinded by hate. But this time, I talked to my son differently, though, and explained to him the discrimination I faced in my life. I told him about the acts of hatred I have been on the receiving end of, and told him about the fear that I have for him as he becomes a man and the weight I feel of what he will face. It's the fear of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and over the weekend I thought to myself, is it possible that the deaths of these Black men could have been me? I recently read an article about the debate of the All Lives Matter versus Black Lives Matter concept. The author put it best when he said, if I had a broken arm and the x-ray confirmed it, but if the doctor came in and said, all bones matter, and sent me home without treating the broken arm, I likely wouldn't be able to heal properly. So, I want to focus on the healing of the broken arm and want to focus on the issues of race as it impacts Black people and the direct impact to all of us. Many of the cities in our country have gone through civil unrest. In cities where we have our offices. And I thought about you, my extended family, the people that I've spent more time with than my own family before COVID-19. I worried about you and what you were facing as many of our cities were being ravaged. My hope is that you were okay. I know that pain, grief, and sadness are colorblind, and that if you have humanity in you, it is impossible not to be impacted by seeing the life of someone taken far too often because of a view that the color of the skin is analogous with creating an air of fear. Now, I admit, I have been silent for too long, as I never want to rock the boat, but I can't be quiet any longer. I will be accountable to change as we educate, recruit, mentor, develop careers, and ensure that our culture is not just diverse, but also inclusive. My hope is that you will too. I was passed along a note from an executive who had expressed her emotions to the leaders of her company. It was insightful and direct. She said, "The question isn't, are you one of the good people? It is, are you one of the silent good people?" In other words, we have all seen something. Shouldn't we acknowledge it and not be silent about it? Do we have courage to push back on the off-color jokes and comments with racial undertones? I'm hoping that we do. I've received calls from many leaders across the firm and thanked them for taking the time to reach out, but also appreciate that they have asked for my advice on what can be done, not just for me, but to help each of us who are going through this pain and sadness. I ask you to reach out to your colleagues, irrespective of race, of ethnicity, and do your best to understand what you can do to help make us better as a society. Now, some of you don't know what to do or what to say, and that is okay. Be vulnerable, and don't be ashamed to say, "I don't know what you're going through, but I don't feel that this has any place in our culture." Just say, "I'm thinking of you, and I hope that you're okay." It's okay to ask questions and listen for answers. It's the small things that go a long way. Know that it is going to take everyone. However, saying nothing is not okay. Silence is deafening.
This activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through grants from the Minnesota State Art Board, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.